Alright guys, I'm trying to get this clutch job done within 2 days, so I'm not gonna really show nothing unless it's important. So we're just gonna take the airbox out. We're gonna start the exterior tear down before we get to the motor. So I'm gonna take the bumper off. You don't have to if you have a lift or more space. It depends on what you prefer. So here we go. Alright, we took the battery out, took the airbox out. These are all things you guys know how to do. These are all things I've shown on the channel before. Alright, now we're on the top of the transmission. The starter motor's right here, and we're gonna unplug all the fittings around it. Unplug this sensor right here, I don't know what that's for, but we're gonna unplug all of this, move all this wiring, and get the top starter bolts out. Alright, for this, all of these wires were tucked on the inside of this thing, this holder. Let me see if I can get it open. Like, it was all tucked in between here where my finger is. So you pull all the wires out, and then this thing is on like a slide at the bottom, and you pull it that way, and then you take this off, get it around that, and look at all that oil, man. It was on this thing. So this thing slides in the bottom groove right here. So when you put it back on, slide it on like that. And then we're just gonna continue unplugging, taking pictures of what we unplug so we know where they go. And that's a 13mm nut right there. Take that bracket off because it's mounted on one of the starter bolts. So it's a 13mm. I'm gonna use a shorter extension. Put it underneath it like that. Yeah, I need a higher cameraman, man, like for real. Put it underneath it, put it on the nut, and then attach your ratchet. Alright, now we're gonna work on getting the linkages off. Pretty sure you pull this back. Yeah, you pull this over, you get that over the, you can get here to clear here, and then you just push it off of the pin right here. Probably gonna need 2 hands to be careful to not break this. Alright, got it off. Be careful, like I said, guys. This, pull this back, slide that off, and that's it. Now the bottom one's a little bit different. I think I just remove this bolt, and then that's it. Yeah. This is the bolt that's holding it in, so I'm gonna pop this out. Like I said, guys, 13mm bolt that's holding that one. I got an extension. I'm using 2 because I'm just balling like that, and then you just crank that off. Alright guys, I got it out, and what I'm gonna do to not lose this bolt and washer, I'm gonna screw it back into the hole, and that's how you get off the lower shift linkage. Let's move on. Alright guys, gonna have to take off the shift linkage brackets. There's one bolt right here, one bolt right here, and then one more in the back right there, and they're all 13mm. Alright, I got the bolts out, all 3 of them. Goes up there. Then there's this hose connected to it that's connected to the slave cylinder. We're gonna get to that right after this. So just pop the hose out of there. Move it to the side, shift linkage, get it out of the way, and then screw the bolts back in here. You want to screw the bolts back in so you don't lose them, or if you have somewhere to put them that you're gonna remember. I'm thinking about unbolting this lever right here so I can have more space to work. So I think it's 13mm. Hopefully everything's been 13 so far. Yes, it is. Alright, we got it out. You know my swag already. Take the bolt out, put it back in that hole. Alright, so holding in the slave cylinder is 2 13mm bolts, or 1/2 inch. I'm using a 1/2 inch wrench because I don't have 13mm. But alright. Okay, I got the slave out, but this support right here is in the way. So it's a 13mm. I already broke it open, and then the bottom. Alright, After you move that bracket out of the way, you remove the 2 bolts. It's gonna be easy. Take the slave out, and then I'm gonna wrap the slave and the shift linkage and tie them up here so they're out of the way. You're gonna wanna unplug your vehicle speed sensor right here in the back. Plugs on it, the clips underneath. You guys remember that video? Get the wire out of the way. Tuck it up here with the rest of them. Okay, we're gonna remove the first starter bolt right there, and then we're gonna start taking off the transmission bolts at the top. That's the top starter bolt. The other one is underneath, is just as long, and then we're gonna. Alright, so we crack these 2 open. Remove this mud guard from here so we can have more room to see. And it's a Torx bit. I'm not sure what size it is. Alright, the other bolt for the starter is right here. I'll get my deep 18 and get that off. Okay, I got out that last bolt. Starter motor's out. Put that in my tool. Alright, we're gonna take the power steering line bracket bolt off. So I'll take one off here. I already took this one off. It was bolted to the starter right there. So it's a 13mm. You're gonna get your 30mm 12 point, and you're gonna break the axle nut free on both sides of the car. And it's better if you get someone to go inside and step on the brake for you. That will really help you out. You have to remove the stabilizer bolt right here. It's a 16mm. Once you get that out, let's get this out of the way, and then we can work on getting the drive axle out. We already took the axle nut off with that 30mm 12 point. We already took that off with the breaker bar earlier. And now we're gonna take these out with our 8mm triple square. All the bolts around here, and then we pull the axle out. After you get those bolts out, guys, you should just push the axle back. Pop this side out this way, and it should be good. Should grease this up. Alright. Now you're gonna have to undo these 2 bolts right here, and they're 16mm. So I already broke them loose from my breaker bar, ratchet it out, undo that side, move this bracket out of the way. And you're gonna remove this support right here, the doggy bone. It looks like a bone. So it's 13mm. These 2 bolts, I already took these ones out. Now remove this. Got those 2 bolts out. Off. Alright, you're gonna take off this heat shield right here. That's over the passenger side drive axle. You can take this heat shield off. It's a 2 16mm. Alright. Watch this fall in my face. Alright. Right behind the oil pan, there's gonna be a 18mm bolt right here. Just get your socket on, get your ratchet on, and just get that bolt out. Alright. I'm gonna get these 1, 2, 3 bolts out the bottom of the transmission. And so I'm 16. I already cracked them loose with the breaker bar. I'm just gonna ratchet them out now. At this point, you're gonna want to support your engine from below, or if you have the support for the top, this is better. But if you're broke like me, We're gonna be doing it from here. I'm gonna just put it under the oil pan. Shouldn't damage it because that's gonna take the weight off the engine, not the whole car. We're gonna open these two bolts, and then then we're gonna lower the transmission and separate it from the engine. And after you open the support from the top, you're gonna wanna undo these 3 bolts. These 2 are 16s and that one's 17. You don't want to guess how long this took me to take out. By yourself on the ground like I am, you need help. You can't do it by yourself. Alright, after you get your enamel on, just ratchet all these bolts off and leave one in at the top, so when you take everything else out, it doesn't just fall on you. Alright, I got the old clutch out. It's dirty as fuck, so you can tell why it failed. Grease obviously got in there, or oil, and it caused the clutch to burn out. And I'm gonna clean up the flywheel because it doesn't look that bad. I'm gonna clean up the flywheel with some brake clean, and it's best that you get it machined if yours is uneven, but mine look like it's. Let's take a quick look at both the clutches, old and the new. The old one has 4 spring. It's a 4-sprung clutch. The other one is 6. Should make for a smoother ride, well transition. Take your brake clean and clean off the back of your new pressure plate to take off that anti-rust thing that they spray on it. Same thing like brake rotors and shit. And now it's time to install. After you clean up your flywheel, look at that, it's like a mirror. The flat side of your clutch goes against the flywheel. So get your clutch alignment tool, line it up. And then you get the pressure plate, and then there's these guide little pins right here that should help you align it properly. When tightening down your pressure plate, you wanna go in a crisscross method, so you tighten it all evenly. You got all your bolts torqued down. You can remove the alignment tool, then she's ready for the transmission. Get on your new throwout bearing. Next we're gonna put a little bit of grease here. Just to grease the spline, not too much. You don't want it to touch anything else but the splines. Well, there you go, guys. That's it. The only part of this installation that I couldn't do by myself was remounting the transmission. That was the only part that I had to get help with, because once you're underneath the car, you can't lift, twist, push in, retwist. It's too heavy for yourself. I thought I was strong enough to do it by myself, but that's the only part I couldn't do by myself. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Comment, subscribe. See you in the next one. Dollar in the Ranch.
Yo, I've been through heartaches, I've been through pain. I've seen enough struggles and I've been through strain. Sure as the Lord fall rain, so things soon change. And when the money run, you know I can't move strange, cause I was born as a winner.